think back to the beginning of our year, way at the very beginning, in our very first Bible story we ever talked about. And that was the story of creation, the story of God creating the world. We're going to walk through that briefly this morning as it connects to our math lesson today. So on day one, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and he created that light. And he called that light day, and he called the darkness night. This was on day one. On day two, God created the waters. He separated them, creating the sky and the air and the water on the earth. On day three, God created our dry land with our plants and all of our flowers and our fruits and our vegetables. God created on day three in our world. On day four, God created the sun in the sky for the daytime and the moon at night for the nighttime. In day five, God created all of the birds that fly up in our sky. And also on day five, God created all of the water, the sea animals under the water, all of the fish and all of our whales and all of our dolphins. God created on day five. On day six, God created all of our land animals. He created all of the giraffes and the zebras and the dogs and the cats maybe you have at home. And also on day six, God created us. God created man. He created humans to live on this earth and take care of the earth that he created. And on day seven, God rested. As I think about these different days and everything God has created in our world, I think about who is the greatest of all. And I think about who is in control of every situation and every circumstance, remembering how much God loves us. He created us in his own image, and knowing that he is above it all and he has our best interest in mind through every situation, even though, boys and girls, it might be hard to understand at times. You know, why we're at home, why we're having to do class through videos, but knowing that God is in control brings us love and brings us that joy and peace, and knowing that he wants what's best for us. And so I want you to remember today that God is the greatest, and he is the greatest of all. He created our earth, and he is fully in control of everything in our lives. So I pray that each day you learn to love him more and lean on him more, knowing he is the greatest. I have a few things for you today as we get started with our lesson. I have a bag of one M&M. Now, oftentimes in class, sometimes for different treats or answering questions, I might pass out an M&M. So if I were to ask you if you wanted this M&M, I would argue that most of you would probably say yes. Oh, Miss Stamp, yes, I really want that M&M. But then what if I gave you the option of this? A whole bag of M&Ms. I would guess that most of you would probably want the whole bag of M&Ms instead of just the one. We've practiced with our numbers in class before, talking about which number is the greatest and which number is the least. And we've always circled that greatest number and underlined the least. So if I were to ask you right now which is the greatest and which is the least, you would circle this bag of M&Ms that you would want to eat, and you would underline this bag with only one M&M because it is the least. You're like, I don't want one bag, I want the whole bag of M&Ms. So today we're going to be talking more about that greatest number and that least number. But instead of circling them or underlining them, we're going to use a different symbol to show which is greatest and which is the least. So I'm going to look up here at my board. I have the number 6 and I have the number 2. So previously we would have said circling the greatest, 6 is our greatest, and you're going to underline the least. 2 is our least. It's the number that is less. Today though, we're going to use a different symbol. And this symbol that we're using today reminds me of a certain animal. Now this certain animal is pretty big. It's bigger than Miss Stamp. It's kind of scary, but it's an animal that God created. I'll give you a hint. He created it on day 6. So I should tell you it's a land animal, but it does like to go in the water too. This animal, dun, 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 alligator. An alligator's face and its head has a really long snout, okay? And its mouth opens with really long top and a really long bottom. When we open our mouth, open your mouth, open and close. It doesn't stick out like an alligator's does, okay? Like an alligator sticks out like this. Our mouth, when we open and close, it just stays flat against our face. God created us all differently. And so when we're using this math symbol today, I want you to pretend to be an alligator. And we're gonna pretend that we want to eat the biggest number. So I'm gonna pull my two numbers back up here that I just had. I'm gonna pull my 6, and I'm gonna pull my 2. Now, I have some fun alligator friends that are gonna help us out with this equation today. I have my Mr. Alligator friend, less than. You all say hi, less than? I have my Mr. Alligator friend, greater than. You say hi, greater than? We're gonna start with those two alligator friends today. And now, what I just told you is our alligators are always gonna wanna eat the biggest number. Just like when I held up these two bags, you said you wanted to eat this biggest bag of M&Ms, the greatest amount. Our alligator is always going to want to eat the greater number, just like you wanted to eat the greatest amount of M&Ms. So I look at 6 and I look at 2. I want my alligator mouth to be open to the biggest number, ready to chomp and eat. So let's start with my less than. Let's see if this is going to open to the biggest number. I'm going to slide my less than alligator down in between my two numbers. Let's look. I have 6 and 2. Is my alligator mouth eating my greatest number? We know my greatest number is 6. Nope. It looks like our alligator mouth wants to eat the 2, so it's not going to be our less than sign. Let's try our greater than. Our greater than sign, we want the alligator mouth to be eating the greatest number. So hold your hands up, and we want to eat the greatest number. So it is going to eat the 6, which is the greatest number. So when we say our equations, our problems that look like this, we're going to say it from left to right. It's really important that we always start on the left and we go to the right. So we're going to say 6 is greater than the number 2. But let's say if I did this. What if I switched my numbers? Remember, I said we always have to start on the left and then we're moving to the right. Now, if I kept that greater than sign, we have a problem. The greater than, it does not work. It's eating this less. It's eating the number that is less. We have to eat the greater number because you want that big bag of M&Ms. You don't just want the one. So we're going to put that back up. We have to use our less than sign. So when I would read this problem, I would say this instead. 2 is less than 6 because my alligator mouth is eating my big number 6.
There was an alligator living in the swamp. He'd sneak up on numbers and start to chomp. Whenever two numbers sat on the ground, she'd face the bigger one and gobble it down. When there are two numbers that are the same, the gator changes form and she swaps her name. Because she isn't sure exactly how to dine, she stands right in the middle as an equal sign. Number gators like to eat what's greater. They turn their backs on what is less. Their mouths open wide for a bigger side, and they munch down the whole great mess.
Awesome, so you got to see our alligators there eating those different numbers, but there was a problem. There was a problem with one of those we had talked about when you had two numbers that were the same. I can't use my less than and I can't use my greater than because they're the same. There's no number to circle that is greater. If I had one M&M and one M&M, you would say, Miss Tam, it doesn't matter, they're the same. Instead of using less than, greater than, we use the sign called equal to. Now we have used equal signs before in math. When we talk about 2 plus 2 equals 4, that means they're the same. The number 4 is the same as 2 plus 2. They equal the same amount. So when their numbers are the same on both sides, just like we would earlier in our fact families and those different problems, we use an equal sign in the middle. Now, to end our lesson today, there is a super fun, one of my favorite Go Noodles that I've been waiting all year to share with you that I want to play for you and dance along with. So, like we did kind of like yesterday, if you have the ability to log in to Go Noodle at home and dance along with me as I do it. If not, you can just keep watching and dance along with my video that I have right here. And it's all about greater than, less than, or equal to, and finding those greater numbers and those numbers that are less. Missing all my first grade friends. It's not as fun to dance on my own. We'll see you later. Bye.